Well, Eden, welcome back to Sydney.
Thank you.
You're here on a bit of a whirlwind promo day ahead
Yes.
of a national, or East Coast national-ish tour.
Yeah.
That kicks off at the end of the month. I guess let's start talking about the record of which it's touring. You've only had a couple of shows off the back of it so far. How have you found that the new music is kind of translating with a live band and in that space?
It's doing quite well, actually. I've had quite a long time to work out how to do it. Like, I've had months. It's the first time I've really kind of prepared this well for something. So we've known the songs really well, so we've road tested them for about 6 months. And normally it's just a duo, so just drums and samples and me, like, sort of jumping around and playing everything else. And it seems to work, yeah.
You're still very busy.
Still
on
giving
stage.
myself a challenge. Yeah.
For the production of this record, did you work with the band to bring the music out? Were you doing it all yourself? How did that come together in the studio?
I went to New York, actually. I got a producer, a guy called Victor Van Voot. He's done a lot of really cool stuff. I met him at CMJ, which was great. And I was looking for someone to kind of do some collaboration with, and he seemed like a really cool dude. He's done amazing records. So we sat down in New York for a couple of weeks and did pre-production, and he really kind of pushed me towards having like quite a strong rhythm-based rhythm section that was kind of groove-based, rather than normally I have like really sort of syncopated guitar riffs and lots of samples that are everything kind of batting against each other, like lead drums, lead vocals, lead guitar, everything lead synth. So it's kind of like my thing, and then I was like, well, what about if we did it this other way? Well, that was his thing. So I was like, yeah, okay, let's try that. And initially I was like, oh man, this is doing my head in. I don't like it at all. I hated it, actually, for the first couple of days. But after that, I realized what he was actually doing was drawing out the song quite well. I don't actually know what the question is anymore, but I'm just rambling.
No, you're answering it very well. I mean, I guess the idea when you bring on a producer like that and you work with people like that is that you want them to bring up those ideas that you would never approach yourself, because you would have never done that yourself, and it wouldn't have sounded the way it does. Yeah, if you didn't.
I think totally. And after much teething of basically my paranoia about letting go of my own creativity and getting someone on board, it seemed to happen really naturally, and he had some cool ideas. I mean, if you can make something stronger by sharing the load, I think it's a good thing. Was a good lesson for me to learn.
Did you go over with the songs pretty much formed lyrically and just the sort of guitar bits and just the basic fundamentals of the songs?
I had to actually. I had a lot of my songs I demo, because I'm a producer as well. I kind of demo them like fully, the drums, like the whole 9 yards, and kind of get it in a ballpark where I'm kind of happy with it. So this one I had to actually strip a lot of things back, because I was like, I don't know what pre-production is, and maybe he's just going to want to have a single line with a lead line on the top, and so I stripped it back and had to relearn how to play them just on guitar or just on piano, which is interesting in itself. So,
and the songs don't start there on the piano or the guitar?
No, they kind of, well, that's they're the strongest basis for the record of piano and guitar. So they kind of remained in that world as the core elements. But it was interesting. Like just two guys in a room, no band, which I think was difficult, because normally he's used to working with a whole band, an engineer and a whole studio, and like playing things on the spot and going, hey drummer, can you try this? Or hey bass player, can you do this? And it was just me and my computer and my guitar. So, but we worked out how to do it. Yeah.
Well, you'd never know that it was just. I mean, that's the kind of the beauty of it now, isn't it? Well, you'd never know it was just you two.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a good thing.
Lyrically, you go to many places in the record. Tell me a little bit about some of the inspiration behind kind of where you've gone, and tell me a little bit about how you ended up with the title as well.
Lyrics. Bane of my life. I'm a real kind of just whatever words go together kind of guy. Like I tend to do things at the last minute with lyrics, and because I think the music shapes where they'll go, and I don't know until the last minute what it is. Like I don't have screes of notepads and things like that, but I do like how words fit together in odd ways, and I don't like things that I try to be sort of once removed from being literal, but still have a foot firmly in something that's quite universal, like some sort of message that you can kind of relate to, but then I remove it so that it's abstracted a bit and kind of fits artistically in my stupid brain. Yeah, but that's how it kind of comes together. And the title, I just have my kind of default thing, which is a song from the record, call that the record, because it's a strong title. The New Old Fashioned, I thought, that's pretty strong. But then as time wore on, Paranoid Brain goes, oh no, it's cheesy. No one's gonna, everyone's gonna think you're saying you're trying to be like call something the new black, or that's like a thing now.
I just assumed you drank a lot of old fashioned.
Is that a drink?
It is.
Ah, well there you go.
It's a phenomenal drink.
Oh, I'm gonna try it. Damn it! I wish I knew that. No, I'll change it back. But then I thought, these other two words that kind of floating around in my head, hunted and haunted, which kind of some themes on the record, kind of ballpark themes. But I like the fact that it was like haunted, and then you take the A out and it becomes hunted. So they're kind of like this weird.
It's a bit of an alliteration going on.
Yeah, and it looks good on it. It looks good on a cap because I've got trucker caps made.
Nice.
I know. Simple as that.
And as we mentioned, you're touring it at the end of the month. Tell us a little bit about that.
The tour, the magnificent tour. It's going to be great fun. Where am I going? I'm playing this week actually at Greaser Bar in Brisbane. That's the launch there, and then on the 30th at Soul Bar on Sunshine Coast, which is now
closer to home,
my new hometown. And then next month I come back and do Sydney and Melbourne on the 20th and 21st. So Oxford Art Factory, and then the Grace Darling in Melbourne. So that should be fun.
And what can we expect? Are you performing with the band?
Yeah, I'm taking a drummer, and he's got a sample pad, and I cracked the whip, and he's got to do all sorts of other things as well. But most talented dude, actually a couple of dudes that are going to come, and hopefully a bass player and multi guy floating around as well.
Fantastic.
So it'll be like a family affair.
And what happens after that? What's the rest of the summer treating you? You worked on the record at New York, and you went to see MJ obviously a couple of years ago, and is there more interest to get back over to that part of the world?
Yeah, there is actually. We've got a bit of a plan. We've been focusing quite heavily on New Zealand and Australian release. Then I go to New Zealand next month as well for quite an extensive tour over there. Then the idea is play some summer shows, summer single, and then we're going to probably release Hunted Haunted in the States and do a tour. So kind of once we've finished this cycle of the record here, kind of focus things over there. Because we had a really good response over there on radio and with things, but really got to keep up the pressure. So yeah, you
can't go over for a day and come back. It's got to be, you got to stick around for a while.
You do, yeah. You got to put in the hard yard. So yeah. Oh well, I have to go back to the States.
Oh, you poor thing.
Oh,
it'll be tough.
Yeah.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Well, mate, it's a pleasure to see you. Thanks very much for joining us,
Thank
and we'll see you next time.
Cool. Cheers.